What's up, guys, and welcome to the 9th edition of the Redline, the all red pill call-in show. If you guys want to get in on the show, 914-205-5356 is the number that you need to call. I'm putting the number in the chat right now. Phone lines are open, 914-205-5356. I've got Steve the Dean on the line. The reason why he's not on camera right now is because there are rolling blackouts. Hey, Dev, can you quiet down a little? Appreciate it. There's rolling blackouts in his area. And so he is going to be joining us via the phone lines. Steve, you with us?
Yes, sir. Via the phone lines.
All right, good stuff.
Here, let's eat, baby.
Good stuff. Let's do it. So, what we're going to talk about today, guys, is we are going to discuss the real reasons men keep getting cheated on by their women. And I actually talked about this on my show today. And the reason I do this, the Redline episodes, more or less, are usually the subject matter is usually one or two things that I've talked about on my show. And the reason I do that is to create a little bit of continuity, but also to get a little more dimension in the way of my opinions. So I'm gonna say what I have to say. Steve the Dean will say what he has to say. If you guys want to call in, again, the number is in the chat, 914-205-5356. It's also on your screen. It's here on the screen to my left. And also your right. So let's go ahead and get started here. Many men who have been unplugged from the Matrix and have taken the red pill are now aware of the true nature of women in 2019. We're aware of their promiscuous behavior. We're aware of how they cover up their cheating. We're aware of their nefariousness. We're aware of all of their bad behavior. Now, men like myself, men like Steve, we know that the vast majority of women in this part of the world really aren't good for much of anything outside sex. And we damn sure that most women aren't worth committing to outside of a one-night stand, maybe the occasional booty call, maybe the occasional fuck buddy arrangement. Now, we like to complain a lot about how women can't cook, about how they're never loyal, about how they're never faithful, that it's a fool's errand to wife these chicks up or even date these chicks. But for the number of women who aren't worth committing to, there are just as many men out here who are not worth committing to. Yes, we talk about the bad investments that most females are these days. But if we're going to keep it 100 here, most men aren't really too much better. And Steve, let me get your take on what I just talked about there. We got a lot of guys who complain, bitches ain't shit. We need to do this, we need to do that, women need to do this, they need to improve. But then a lot of men aren't really worth much more than the women that they're talking about. What are your thoughts on that?
No, you're absolutely right, Donovan. I think some of the problems that a lot of guys have is that a lot of guys don't do the one thing. They don't take accountability for their actions, and they don't realize women invest. They invest in guys. And the question is, what are you bringing to the table? Because there's a lot of guys that are indirect. There's a lot of guys who can't speak up for themselves. There's a lot of guys. I mean, if you think about this for a second, Donovan, look at the majority of guys today. They're victims. They're pointing the finger.
Right.
They always placing blame. They're problematic. They're not solution-based. So technically, does a woman want to really date a woman? Think about that. Women don't want people that are insecure, handcuffing. They don't know how to approach them. They don't know how to talk to them. They don't know how to text them. They don't know what to say when they text them. They don't even know what to do on a date or even ask for what they want, right? So
right.
If you're a woman and you're getting that all the time, why would you even want to invest yourself in that when you know there's nothing you're going to get out of your investment except a mother-child type relationship, sir?
Yeah, listen, that is an excellent point. And I see you on the line. We got somebody from outside of the U.S. Who's calling in. And again, 914-205-5356. That's the number to call. yes, there is definitely there's a place to point out the shortcomings of today's females, right? You can't come up with the solution if you don't address the problem. But too many men, Steve, get caught up in just talking about the problem. All they want to do is talk shit. Women ain't this. Women need to do this, blah, 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 blah. But they don't really talk about solutions. Guys like yourself and me, we like to say, okay, if you want your woman to act like X, then you need to do Y. And I think a lot of guys are just happy just sitting around complaining about what women aren't and what they and what they require of women. 914-205-5356 is the number to call if you want to get on the line. Steve, I'm going to bring on the caller from outside the U.S. Caller, you are on with the red line.
Hey, Donovan.
Hey.
This is John.
Hey, John, how you doing, man?
May remember you. Yeah, from Finland. I followed your advice from last time I talked.
Okay, and refresh my memory if you would.
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't want to. My ex-girlfriend kind of got mad at me for sharing too many details, so maybe I shouldn't share too many details about myself.
Okay.
Like, is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. What advice did you follow?
Just that you guys told me that. Well, I don't know exactly what your criteria was. I know that this girl has mental health issues. BPD is one term.
I know who you're talking. I know who this is now.
Yeah.
Well, wait, let me hold on real quick. John, let me stop you right there. You said that you don't want to give too many details because your girlfriend might get upset with you, correct?
Well, yeah.
Okay,
well,
hold on. Wait, hold on. Is your girlfriend? Hold on.
I was
John,
thinking about
John,
it myself.
hang on. Whoa, hey, John.
Like,
Hold on. Is your girlfriend near you, or is she listening to the show?
No, I showed her the show afterwards.
Is she listening now?
I sent her a link to it.
Is she listening now?
I don't think so.
Okay, so my first, no, hold on. I'm not
so.
trying to be facetious here, right? But I need to ask you a very important question. You sent your girlfriend a link to the show. Yeah. What was the purpose of that? Did you want her to see the error in her ways?
Good question. Yeah. Good question.
Say again?
No, my point was to be honest. I didn't want to have any secrets.
Oh no, John. Hold on, brother. Hold on. Listen. No, hold on. Wait, hold on real quick. You have to keep things from your girl, man. Okay, like this is how this goes. And listen, I'm not going to blame this on you because a lot of guys who find our content and find our material, they make the egregious mistake of letting their significant others know, their women know, hey, I'm going to try to be a better man. I'm going to be the alpha male that you want, and this is how I'm going to do it. Okay, but here's how this goes. Women don't want to know that they're playing the game. They just want to play the game. They don't want to know how the sausage is made. They just want to see the sausage. And if you show them, hey, this is how I'm doing this, then she's not going to think you're really changing. What she's going to think is anything he does or says from here on out, it's because they said it, not because that's who he is, right? So in the future, in the future, I would strongly advise against you sharing any red pill content with your girl. The way you make changes and improve in your life, she does not need to be privy to. Steve, I'm going to let you jump in here. What you got?
Yeah, Donovan, this is a case in point of someone scared of his girl. He's scared of his girl. He doesn't know how to be a man to his girl. And he thinks by letting her listen to this, that's going to solve everything. The problem is that this is where guys go wrong all the time. The fact that you came off saying, well, I don't want to give you too much of my information. Nobody knows you. You're just one guy out of billions of guys out there, okay? The next problem I see with this guy is that, like you say, you're sharing man information with someone who doesn't relate to men. So why would you share information like that? Men, see, Donovan, check this out. See, what guys do is they always showing women their weaknesses. by doing things like this. And when you show a woman your weakness,
you're right.
What will happen? Right. What will happen is if you get married or if you get divorced or if you have a child with this woman, what's going to happen is she's going to take your weaknesses and use them against you. That's why, like we always tell you, do not give women, they're on a need to know basis on certain things.
There you go. That's
you
exactly
do not
right.
show her behind the curtain and let her see what's going on, because she might not even like Donovan or myself by hearing this information.
Well, of course not.
And she might get mad at you. She might get mad at you for the information we're giving you. Donovan?
Yeah, caller, I'm going to mute you for just 1 second, and I'll actually give you the perfect example here. I remember a long time ago when I had just started dating Darcy, my soon-to-be wife and subsequent ex-wife, and we were already having problems. I couldn't figure out why she was doing what she was doing and act like she was acting. So I went to Barnes and Noble because, of course, I couldn't. I guess it never occurred to me to Google, hey, why do girls act a certain way? And I bought the book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, right? And I remember we're in the car and we're coming back from dinner and we're in some sort of argument. And I used a technique that I learned from the book to squash the argument. And it worked for the time being. But right after I got done squashing the argument, I pulled out the book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, and said, there you go. That's exactly what I used right there. And she says, you used a book to argue with me? She's like, this wasn't even coming from you. This is from a book. I didn't know what to do. The reason, and caller, I guess we're going to play good cop, bad cop here, because I understand why you went and told your girl, hey, I called into the show and talked about you. Maybe there was something in you that thought that, hey, maybe if she sees how I feel, unadulterated, how can I put this, unfiltered, maybe this will wake her up. And on its face, it makes sense logically to do that. But as we all know, women are not logical creatures. What we think works in theory with women almost never works with women. So in the future, like I said, I would strongly advise you never to share red pill content with your woman. You really have set yourself back quite a bit, because any improvements you make from here on out, your woman is not going to see those as genuine improvements. Your woman knows how the sausage is made. You have told your woman how you pulled the rabbit out of the hat. Well, guess what? When you do other magic tricks like swallow swords and throw darts and all that, she's not going to be impressed, because she already knows the prestige. She's been behind the curtain. What say you, caller?
I think you're absolutely right about that. Yeah.
Okay, so what did you want to call us about? You said you followed our advice.
My only defense. Well, no, I would say my only defense, I guess, if you can call it that. I mean, I value. You know how they you can list your values when you're trying to self-improve,
sure, or
not just your strengths, but your values. And I've always thought that my top value in life was honesty. I really did, sincerely.
No, I get it. I get it. I understand. And you don't want to keep, listen, you have to understand. Here's one thing that you're going to have to understand. When it comes to values and morals, when you're dealing with other men, most of the time that's going to serve you correctly. John, putting yourself on a moral high ground, being 100% honest, 100% full disclosure, that don't work with women, John, because you want to know something? They're not going to extend the same courtesy to you. If you think for 1 second that your woman is going to be 100% honest with you about everything, if you think she's going to give you full disclosure on everything, bruh, you're going to be blindsided. And you're going to be one of those guys. Thank God you're having this conversation now. You're going to be one of those guys. How could I not know? How could she not tell me? She was never going to tell you. If you try to operate in your relationship with a woman with morality and by the Bible and full honesty, dude, you're going to get bent over and fucked in the ass. I'm here to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm starting to realize that. I mean, that's why I'm not dating this girl anymore. She's moved out.
Good.
I've asked her to give me the key back.
Okay.
So it's over.
Good. Very good.
So what's the purpose of your?
Now I have to find someone else, and
Well, I think he wanted to call us and tell us. I think he wanted to call us and tell us that he took our advice. He kicked her out, which is good for him.
Yeah.
Because this is the BPD girl, right?
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is. Yep.
Yeah.
Although
Right.
we didn't get to talk about it, but I do also have BPD, so it's not the BPD that to me is the worrying thing. I think there are other things that.
That's right. All right. I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose. Listen, man. Listen. This is listen, dude.
God.
I don't understand why it's a badge of honor for people to think that they are, borderline personality disorder, right? Like you can't. I don't know. Listen, I don't know anybody with BPD who calls into a show and says, "Hey, by the way, I'm BPD," right? Like a while back, Illimitable Man did this thing where he's like, "All right, what did he say?" He said he did a dark triad test. And we had all these people chatting in the chat. Well, I took the dark triad test and it says I'm dark triad. So what do I do now? And I was like, dude, you're not dark triad. You either are or you are. You don't need some test to tell you. What do you think about that, Steve?
Well, Donovan, I think what's happening, and this is kind of the reason why women are really kind of turned off by certain type of guys.
Yeah.
They're always trying to justify every little thing by trying to soften the blow of the hardcore truth. They always will say, well, I'm this, or, hey, Donovan, I work out all the time. Donovan, I'm 6 foot tall. Donovan,
I'm an alpha male.
Nice lifestyle. You're right. But, and that's the thing, man. A man does not justify. Since I've known Donovan Jeopardize Sharp, he has never, ever in his life, since I've known him, ever tried to justify something. He is cut and dry what it is. And since I've known him interact with his woman, he has never tried to what he said, he just says it. Bam, bam, bam. That's it. Not softening the blow. And I think that's part of the problem, Donovan. They're justifying everything instead of just being
doing it
to the point.
Yeah.
Son. Right.
Listen, man, I mean, I think what men have to understand is that you don't get to decide what your value is. Okay. You can do your damnedest to raise your value, but your value is dictated upon the way people treat you. If people treat you well, you probably have high values. It's the same with women. Women don't get to decide that they're perfect 10s. No. You don't get to decide whether or not you're hot. You can think you're hot, but you're not hot unless the opposite sex treats you like you're hot. If you are a female and you get sexual attention from men everywhere you go, you're probably hot. But you don't get to decide what your sexual market value is any more than you can decide whether or not you're an alpha male, right? It's almost like giving yourself a nickname. You don't give yourself a nickname. A nickname is given to you by other people. Big shout out to Freelance Ronin. George, the Sultan of Silver Bruno, is in the house. He said scarcity, indifference, 1 foot out the door, the true trifecta. Could not agree more. Sharp Assist is in the house. Said the Roosh stream was epic last night. Yeah, I had Roosh V right here in the studio last night. That was actually pretty cool. Let me continue on here, Steve, and just kind of continue on with this because I think that we can really have a good conversation about this. Men talk all this shit about how they require their woman to be attractive, how their woman has to know how to cook. She's got to be this. She's got to be that. She's got to be faithful. Well, the problem is that the men making most of these demands are out of shape and can barely take care of themselves, Steve. If a man wants a quality woman, first and foremost, he's got to have his shit together first, right? If you want a good woman, you've got to be a quality male. And without the two basic elements in terms of getting into and staying in shape and getting your financial house in order, you're going to be just like the other 95% of men out there who can't get laid on the regular. But because more men want to be in relationships than men who are actually worth being in relationships with, women have predictably started to shack up with the best of the worst while she searches for the higher value male. And guess what, Steve? Most of the time, they end up finding that man. But when they do, they never go and tell their boyfriends or husbands, hey, Donovan, I'm in love with this guy at work. His name is Kevin. He works in the sales department, and I want to break up with you to be with him. No, that's not how it happens. What she does is she cheats on you. She fucks Kevin behind your back, right? And when she thinks Kevin wants to be with her, commit to her, or at the very least that Kevin's going to fuck her on the regular, only then will she be able to break up with you. And even then, they rarely tell you it's over, right? Most of the time, they sort of go about it roundabout. We should start seeing other people. We should take a break. I need space. Then when you find out she's fucking somebody else the very next day, then it becomes obvious to you that she was fucking somebody else long before she ever told you that she needed to talk. So now you guys are probably thinking, God damn, all these girls are cheating. Women ain't shit. And you would be right. But there are a few reasons, gentlemen, that you may not be aware of as to why you keep getting cheated on. You can be in great shape. You can be financially stable. You might even have a minimal working knowledge as to how women work and what makes them tick, and still have women run around on you. Guess what? A lot of other men too. A lot of other men have that same knowledge, and they're still getting cheated on. So now the question is why do women keep cheating on me? Go ahead, Steve.
Well, Donovan, here's the thing, and I love what you're saying here. See, the thing is that a lot of guys think it's all about what they do versus who they are.
Right.
And the thing is that I've got guys right now that work, and again, no knock on my dogs, but they don't have really nice jobs. You know, they're not making like a lot of money, but they have women that are buying them flat screen TVs, Xboxes.
Yep.
They're filling up their houses with all the groceries that they want in there to keep these guys, because with these guys, I mean, these guys have that most guys don't have, is that these guys don't have the 6-pack muscles, and they don't have the bodies and all that other stuff. But the one thing they do have is a mindset of not putting up with her bullshit and checking her at the door every time they turn around, which they love. They will stay with the man that has the nice houses and stuff like that, but they're going to fuck the guy
that
puts their ass in line, quote unquote, yanking the quote unquote chain, letting her know that I don't need you. You need me more than I need you. So, you know, like you say, you're absolutely right. But what these guys don't understand is, you can have the body, but your body will attract her. But sometimes it's not going to keep her there, because, Donovan, once you peel away the muscles, and once you peel away the job and the nice car and the clothes, you're stuck with a hollow person that is scared to talk to women or stand up to women. So, you know, it goes both ways, brother.
Yeah, listen, we hear guys all the time say, well, all a man really needs is looks and money, right? Well, here's what they're leaving out. Looks and money get you opportunities, right? But game, knowing how women work, that's what gets them to keep you around. Listen, your flashy car, your 6-pack abs are going to get you attention. But again, this is why women shit test. Women don't just take for granted that you are a man simply because you look like one. No. They're going to poke and they're going to prod. They're going to make sure that you are who you appear to be. There are a lot of men out here, Steve, beards and tattoos. They ride motorcycles, soft as baby shit, right? Loud as a motorbike, wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight type of guys, right? Like Jay-Z said, 99 Problems. So this is why, just like you said, Steve, women want to know, women are more interested in what you are rather than what you do. Now, what you do has a lot to do with what you are, but that's where the congruity comes into play. You can look and sound and act like a quote unquote man all you want to. What are you going to do when the shit hits the fan? What are you going to do when she comes at you with some bullshit? What are you going to do when she comes at you with some nonsense? And this actually leads me to the very first reason why a lot of men get cheated on, and they have no idea why they are. You are non-confrontational. In other words, you're a coward. Most people, I'm pretty confident in saying that most people don't like confrontation, myself included, believe it or not. But understand this, guys, just because I dislike confrontation, that doesn't mean I don't realize that it's a necessary part of life. Sometimes I don't like lifting weights. Lifting weights hurts. Lifting weights is hard, but it's a necessary part of life. This is why I do it. If I need to address a situation with a friend, a colleague, my woman, or whoever, I never hesitate to do what needs to be done. Now, I don't want you guys to get it twisted here. I'm not the guy, well, I'm not the guy who goes looking for confrontation or goes looking for a fight. At least not lately anyway, right? But I don't shy away from confrontation either. But if your woman gets the idea that you are non-confrontational, if she thinks that you're not going to call her out on her bullshit right then and there, if she thinks that you're afraid to look her in the eye and say, knock it the fuck off, she's going to lose respect for you. And when she loses respect for you, she's going to start to behave badly because she knows you're not going to confront her. She knows you're not going to check her. Now, to keep it 100, and this actually goes to Steve here, the reason why men are non-confrontational is because they're scared of their women, right? And the reason why men are scared of their women, one of the reasons is that nobody fights anymore. A man who's never been in a fight with another man, a man who's never been in a physical confrontation with another man who's trying to kill you, rip your head off, he's going to be naturally non-confrontational because he's afraid of the unknown, right? He doesn't know what it's like getting hit in the face. Getting hit in the face fucking sucks. And if you've never been hit in the face before, you're not trying to find out. If you've lived 20, 30, 40 years without having gotten hit in the face, right? A man who's never verbally checked or corrected a female and put her in her place, he's going to be non-confrontational with her because he's afraid of the unknown. You have to understand this. Your woman has to know that you're a man who will confront uncomfortable situations with her. If she thinks you're not going to do that, she loses respect for you. That's all there is to it. Women respect men who are unafraid to be direct with them and other people. If you are unable to be confrontational when and if a situation presents itself, she will cheat on you with a man who is. What are your thoughts on that, Steve?
Well, how can you correct a woman when you have no boundaries for yourself, number one?
Right.
And number two, how do you correct a woman when you're coming at a way of thirst? See, what a lot of guys don't understand, and I hate to say this, is that women are smarter than most males. I didn't say men, I said most males.
Right.
Because when you're coming in a position of thirst, that means you're willing to do whatever it takes to get that woman. And she sees that as weakness, meaning she knows your story. When you're kissing her ass, when you're apologizing, when you're telling her the grass is blue and the sky is pink because she said so, she knows that you would do just about anything for pussy. And that means she knows that she can leave and do whatever she wants and you'll still come back. Why? Because you have no standards for yourself. So Donovan, a lot of these guys, they're scared of women. And the fact that they're scared of women notice the fear. They notice guys, they know if you're scared or not because they know a real man is not going to put up with a woman's shit. And as soon as she pops off her mouth the wrong way, he is going to correct any kind of behavior she has. She knows that's going to happen. But with most guys, when you don't have a standard, you don't have any boundaries, you're scared to talk to women, you get nervous, you have anxiety, and you make excuses to try to talk to women, how are you going to even stand up to one when it comes time to, brother?
Yo, this is what I'm talking about. If you're afraid to stand up to your woman understands that. And she's going to ask herself, if he's afraid to stand up to me, then he's going to be afraid to stand up to another man, right? And if a man is afraid to stand up to another man, that is not a man. That is a male. Had a comment here by George Bruno. He says, women are silently begging to be led. 100% true. Then we had a comment here by Mike Lift. He says, George, but what about controlling feminists? They don't want to be led. They alpha as hell. No, incorrect, Mike. Yeah, incorrect. This is interesting. It's funny. It's funny how this works. The more dominant a female appears to be, the more submissive she will become to a dominant man, right? If a woman is corporate and high society and she wields all this power, those are the women who want to be fucked in the ass hard, rode hard, and put away wet. Those are the women who want to be choked during sex. Those are the women who want to be talked down to. Those are the women who want to be spit on. CJ Mutter actually nailed it. There is no such thing as an alpha female. 100% right. I was getting to that next. Women who act controlling, they're not acting alpha. They're acting bitchy. They're acting bossy. When men do it, we don't call it bitchy and bossy because that is a masculine characteristic. When females exhibit masculine characteristics, this is bad. And the more masculine characteristics they exhibit, the more masculinity is required to get them put in line. And when they see it, they go from tigers to kittens. What say you, Steve?
All right, Donovan, this is what I'm talking about, that statement made. Just like it's that built-in excuse.
Right.
See, a lot of these guys that say things like this, they have what I call ABC thinking, Donovan.
Okay.
That means if A does it to B, that means A is going to do it to C.
Right.
And that's the problem with a lot of guys. See, just because A does it to B, you never ask the question, what is B like? Does B have a standard? Does B check a woman at the door when she's disrespectful?
Right.
So you're so busy looking at what's happening to B, you're not looking at what's going on with yourself.
Right.
Because Donovan, I can't tell you how many women I know that will treat their husbands and their boyfriends and guys with such disrespect, but treat me the total opposite. Why? Because I don't make it about other guys. I make it about me. And when you sit around and you want to, like a woman, what do women do? They want to generalize.
That's right.
It's always a generalization. That's what women do. And when you try to use the word feminism as an excuse, that shows the weak statement that you have as a man. Because guess what? Just because she's treating him like that doesn't mean she's going to treat me like that, because I don't care what she's doing to the next man. That's what we got to stop doing, Donovan.
There you go.
We got to stop looking at what women are doing to other people and start looking about how they're treating
That's
us.
right.
And as long as you're making those broad generalization statements, that's showing the feminine energy that makes women not want to even deal with you, Donovan.
Listen, well said. Listen, I remember there's this one chick I was fucking. I don't know. She was probably in her mid-30s. She's not the high corporate status CEO. She was probably in middle management. I forget what company she worked for. It's a company in Vegas, small company. I think they sold refrigeration products or unit, but she had an office job and she had a staff under her and all this other kind of stuff. So we used to meet up with each other, I don't know, every other Monday or Wednesday or whatever. She was married. And I remember, like, I'm walking around the hotel room and I told her, I'm not going to be able to meet up with you like next week. Like, she wanted to meet up with me next week and was normally every other week. And she says, well, if you're not going to meet up with me next week, then that's going to be a problem. I looked at her, I said, you want to try that again? And I looked at her just like that. Right. And she says, oh, no. I was just saying that, I really want to see you next week. She changed her tune. I didn't have to get loud. I didn't have to get crazy. All I had to do is reach down and grab my fucking balls, look her dead in the eye, and be like, yo, you want to try that again? Right? In other words, you're not going to talk to me like that. This is a woman who was in charge of maybe 10 or 12 people. She tried to give me the ultimatum. Well, if we can't meet next week, then blah. I said, I'm sorry, you want to try that one more time? And the body language that comes with that lets her know you don't fucking talk to me like that. Or you know what? Actually, you can do whatever you want, right? You can talk to me however you want. I would strongly advise against that. This is a woman who has power. This is a woman who is a quote unquote alpha female. All I had to do, pop her right on the nose, and she purred like a kitten.
Donovan, I could tell you the exact. It's like maybe we smashed the same woman. I don't know, but it sounded the same.
Was her name Linda?
What's weird is that well, no, I think it was.
That was her name.
Start with an S, but no.
All right.
The thing that was weird was I had the same situation. A woman she thought that she could talk to me the way she talks to all the guys.
Oh no, you can't get away with that.
But once I yanked that chain, what happened was the reason she sucked my dick and fucked me, coming from her mouth, is because she said she never had anybody check her at the door.
There you go.
All her life, all she's been doing has been guys apologizing, compromising, and ripping off her spine for her. And when I said what I said, yeah, she took a step back, but she said, the reason I called you back and wanted to sleep with you, because it intrigued me, because I never had a man stand up to me before in my life. And that's the whole purpose of basically what you're saying right now, and going against with that guy who said that feminism bullshit line, is that it doesn't happen with us, Donovan. We do not allow women thinking that they can talk to us. Don't take my kindness for weakness. And that's what they normally do. And they shit test us as well.
That's right.
They got to make sure to see if We are the real deal. If we're beating our chest like men, they are going to test us. And when you yank her chain, Donovan, it makes her pussy wet because she's not used to it, sir.
And here's the thing, Steve, you don't even have to yank the chain. All you got to do is tug it just a little bit, just to show her, just a real quick tug. Whoa, bitch. No, you ain't finna get out of line. They fall right in line. Listen, if your masculine energy is strong enough, dude, women are never, all a woman has to know is that you can and will yank that fucking chain if need be. But she doesn't need to really see proof of that. She doesn't need to see you in action. You snap that chain a little. Oh shit! Like he checked me on that. I can't be talking to him like I'm talking to my employees. Let me make sure I mind my manners around this dude. Yeah. Good conversation there. 914-205-5356. That is the number to call if you want to get in on the conversation. Let's go to the second reason why most men get cheated on by women, and this is actually something that a lot of guys probably don't think of. And the reason, number two, you put too much responsibility on your wife or girlfriend. And I'll tell you a story. A few years back in Vegas, I was just starting out in game. I was dating a single mom who had a daughter. She was probably like 8 or 9 years old. I met the kid a few times. She seemed to be, pretty well-mannered and obedient. I didn't really spend much time with her, but the short interactions I did have with her seemed to be a pretty good kid. She was respectful enough. Well, one afternoon, the single mom calls me up and she starts bitching and moaning about how she gave her daughter $10 for lunch at summer camp. And rather than buying a sandwich and an apple and a drink, the kid bought Swedish fish and French fries, right? And the mom was feeling she was like, oh my God, I can't, like I've had conversations with her about making good food choices. I'm so disappointed in her. Now, I don't usually listen to women just drone on about their problems, much less give them advice about raising kids, just given the fact that I don't have any kids. But I had to explain to her that her daughter is an 8-year-old kid and shouldn't be given that kind of responsibility. And I said something to this effect. I said, I forget what her name was. I said, so-and-so, her name was Cindy, actually. That was her name, Cindy. She said, I was like, Cindy, she's 8 years old. What did you expect that she was going to buy? An organic kale salad and cucumber water? And we both laughed our asses off because it seemed impossible to think that an 8-year-old kid was going to make the right food choice at summer camp. And of course she says, well, you're right. I never thought of it that way. The point is, Steve, is that she was putting too much responsibility on her kid to make the right choice, which is a mistake. Steve, kids want to be kids. They shouldn't be required to make decisions on their health or anything else important. Kids want to play outside. They want to play video games. They want to eat candy. They want to ride rides. Well, the same goes with women. As men, we are the superior sex, and women know this. For this reason, your woman wants you to be a territorial control freak. She wants you to make the plans. She wants you to decide what restaurant you're eating at. She wants you to decide what you're watching on TV. As the man, Steve, and I know you co-sign with this, you are the leader of the relationship. And as the leader, you must take responsibility for everything that goes on, which means making any and all important decisions as it applies to you and your woman. There's so many women out here, Steve, who are leaders of their relationships, and they're stressed out because that's not the natural state of a woman, right? You got these women who are miserable. They're in these bad relationships. She's miserable because women are indirectly given all the responsibility. Women don't want responsibility, guys. Now, they want all the accolades that come with the responsibility, but they are ill-equipped to accept, nor are they interested in doing what it takes to get those accolades. Be the captain of your ship and lead the relationship. Don't put a lot of responsibility on her. Oh, listen, I'm not saying that you can't hey, stop and get eggs, bread, and milk. I'm not saying don't let her make small, inconsequential decisions. She can handle that. That's no big deal. If there are small decisions that have to be made, let her make it. But when there's a major decision coming up, like where we should move, where we should vacation, what are we eating for dinner tonight, what kind of car would she buy, things of that nature, that's on you. You take her input, and you be the one to make the call because she's stressed out with that kind of power, guys. Simply allow her to be a woman who is relaxed and along for the ride on your train. Check this out. And I'm gonna get your take on this, Steve. Women who find themselves having to lead relationships will involuntarily look for a man who will lead them. Just like George said in the chat, Women secretly want to be led. Okay. And they're looking for a man to lead them. Women don't want to be the captain of the ship. They want to be your chambermaid who fucks you after a hard day. Women don't want to be your pilot. They want to be your flight attendant who fucks you in the bathroom and make her a member of the Mile High Club. If your woman has to be the captain or the pilot, she's going to cheat on you with a man who doesn't make her fly the plane or steer the boat. They're going to cheat on her. They're going to cheat on you with a man who does not put all of the responsibility on her. What are your thoughts on that, Steve?
See, Donovan, this is why I stress that leadership starts from the beginning.
Right.
As soon as you meet her, you have to lead her, and not just lead her, let her know why you're doing what you're doing, so she doesn't even have to ask. Because sometimes when you can fill in the blanks before you open your mouth to a woman, she adores that because that's part of leadership.
Right.
See, a lot of guys don't come from that position. They come from a position of either indirect, or they come from a position of lies. They come from a position of manipulation. They come from a position of throwing shit up on the wall and hope something sticks because of their nervousness. That's not leading. That's more follow-like. They don't know. And again, this is why I always say from my guys, is that's why I always say, give her your number.
Right.
Because I'm telling you to call me. I'm not running behind you. I got too much pussy to run behind you. But this is the first steps of leadership by letting her know why you came over there. Let her know what your intentions are. See, what a lot of guys don't understand, like I say, these women are not stupid, but at the same time, like you and George are saying, they're going to want to tell you, I want someone to open the door for me. I want someone to be sweet and kind and gentle and all that other stuff. But that's what they want. But the woman's never going to tell you what she needs, because what she needs is the secret of the sauce. And
right.
Like you and George said, the need is to be led. I want someone to tell me what I should do. I want someone to tell me what time I need to be ready,
yes.
and you don't be a minute late or I'm going to leave you. I need someone to tell me to call me, because you know what? Too many times these women are in situations where they've got to ask, well, what do you want to go and eat?
Jesus
Where do
Christ.
you want to go in this? And what do you want to do? And they're sick and tired of that, because that's the same. See, Donovan, get your crayons out. The way they see you outside the bedroom is the same way they see you in the bedroom.
That's right.
And if you're always asking for permission for everything, they see you as a guy who's never had women, who's bad in bed, and is a waste of their time, because somewhere down the line, you listen to either your loser friends or your mother, and you thought, okay, it'd be great to be a gentleman to ask what she thinks. Fuck what she thinks. She doesn't want to think. She wants to be led, Donovan.
Listen, man, I think it's universally known by men who understand women that women want to be led. And at the end of the day, you have, and listen, this is Red Pill 101. Don't listen to what she says. Watch what she does. Because a lot of women say a lot of things. Oh, I'm strong and I'm independent and I'm the leader. But when they get around a leader, they want to be led. Pay attention to what she does and less attention to what she says. George Bruno says decisiveness is the quality that women want. Absolutely. 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 The third reason that I'm going to point out as to why men get cheated on but can't really figure out why they're getting cheated on is because you are a male slut. Let me explain what I mean here. Not in the way you're thinking. No. The male slut that I am referring to is a man who freely gives his commitment to any and all women for little to no reason at all. She fucks you on the first date, you're ready to make her your girl. It's almost a man who gives away his commitment freely and easily. It's like women, it's like female sluts who fuck a lot of guys. I'll give you 3 examples. Example number 1. A female slut has been out with a guy for 2 hours and fucks him the same night. A male version of a slut has been out on 2 dates and decides to make her his girlfriend. Right? Example number 2. A female slut fucks 8 guys in the last 8 days. A male slut has had 8 girlfriends in the last 8 months. Here's my third example. A female slut cheats on her boyfriend 6 times in 6 weeks. A male slut proposes to a female he's only been dating for 6 months. You guys starting to see a pattern here? Men are the gatekeepers to commitment. Area code 503. I see you on the see you in the queue. I'm going to get to you in a second. Men are the gatekeepers to commitment. Women are the gatekeepers to sex, right? Rollo Tomasi says this all the time. I agree with him 100%. It is very easy for them to give away what they're the gatekeepers to. Okay? Women, it's very easy for women to sleep with a lot of guys. It's very easy for men to make a bunch of women their girlfriends, right? A woman who gives up the ass too soon loses the respect of a man. As men, we think, damn, well, she was easy to fuck. I met this girl two hours ago. All I did was buy her a couple of drinks, make some conversation, and she gave up the ass. Well, she's obviously a slut. I'll use her for sex until I'm done with her. Well, a man who commits to a woman too soon without making her work for it is equally as unattractive, right? So a woman thinks, wait a minute, all I did was fuck this guy a few times, and he already wants me to meet his parents. He already wants to be exclusive. All right, I'll use him for food and companionship for a little while until a man who actually makes me work for his time and attention comes along. Men who give up commitment too easily are just as unattractive as slutty females who fuck every dude they meet. It is easy for them to do so, which is why they are shamed for it. And at the end of the day, women value what they are required to work for. And if you're ready to put a ring on it after just a few months of dating, she's going to see you as a male slut and cheat on you with a man who makes her earn his commitment. What do you say about that, Steve?
Yeah. Donovan, check you, man, dog. You on fire, baby. I had to call 911 to put your ass out, dog.
Hey, man, I'm trying to tell you, man. I can't put this out.
A lot of guys, oh, no, this is some real-ass game being spit right here, guys.
Yes, sir.
The thing that I always tell my clients about me and about my kind is that when I meet a woman, I'm not meeting her for sex. Sex ain't even on the table because I already know the pussy's mine. I'm already fucking her mentally. So I'm not even thinking about the pussy.
Right.
I'm trying to see what guys don't understand is when a woman meets you guys, she's figuring out what category you're going to fall under if you're not a man. You're either going to be the chauffeur, the shoulder, the one that puts up the Christmas lights, or the one that pays the rent or the bill. So as a man, I do the same thing. Just because you got a nice round ass and perky lips and nice breasts I don't care about that. I'm thinking about what are you bringing to the table other than your ass. Why? Because men who have options are not making it about the pussy. I need to know, are you going to be the one that if you can cook, are you going to be the one I call when I want a meal at nighttime?
There you go.
Are you going to want to make me breakfast? Are you going to be my masseuse? Are you going to be the one that is my nurse when I'm sick? What are you bringing to my table other than your pussy? Because I get pussy easily.
The pussy's a foregone conclusion, Steve. Am I wrong?
Right. No doubt. I need the resume. I need to know where you fall at for me other than giving me ass.
Steve said, Steve said, I need to see a resume. Like, show me the Carfax. You feel me? Show me the hoe facts. 914-205-5356 is the number to call to get in on the conversation. Area code 503. You're on live with the Redline. Go ahead.
Right on, man. Well, my thought process on this is women cheat on dudes, plain and simple, who give them too much attention. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. And you know what's interesting, caller? It's very, and I think what a lot of guys who are new to the red pill, and I don't know how long you've known about the red pill, but it's very important that women also have to get. Now, Steve just put it best on the man side. Hey, listen, what can you bring to the table other than pussy, tits, and ass? This is what we ask women, right? And if women say, okay, well, I can cook, I can clean, I'm willing to represent you well in public, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, great. If she can prove that over a prolonged period of time, then she has a chance to be in a long-term relationship with you. But, caller, what we have to understand, and I'm not saying that you're saying this, but a lot of guys watching and a lot of guys listening think, well, you know, I don't want to give her any attention. I don't want to validate her. Oh, no. If your woman earns your favor, if your woman earns your attention, then give it to her. If your woman cooks you a bomb-ass steak dinner, give her attention. If your woman gives you a toe-curling blowjob and causes you to blow a hole through her head, yes, give her that attention. But in terms of the reason why women cheat on you, and I think, caller, I think you're onto something. I think that women cheat on a lot of men because they give them too much attention for free. They're acting like their woman just made them a bomb-ass steak dinner when all she did was order in. They're treating their woman like a queen or a princess for just sitting down on the couch and watching TV.
You know what, Donovan? You know, George made a post or a tweet earlier this morning and tagged me about something I always said. See, the caller, this is where the caller attention, what you're saying is kind of a slippery slope, because as a man, I will give her my attention, but first she's got to be worthy of my time, young man.
Right.
See, the problem with y'all guys out here is that you're thinking too much of attention. Like, well, do I give her enough, or do I take some away?
Or do I just ignore her? Yeah.
The first thing she has to be worthy of is your time in order to get your attention. Now, if she is worth your time, then of course I have no problem giving her some of my attention, because I know that I'm investing in something I'm going to get a return on. But see, you guys don't make it, but not you, caller, but I'm saying guys who are so damn thirsty, they don't understand attention or time. They don't understand what a woman that is worthy. If she's worthy of your time, then you can give her some of your attention, because then you'll get a return on your investment. But for a lot of guys who don't know worth or value, what they do is they give the wrong kind of attention.
There you go.
And then that's when they get themselves in the wrong sling. Donovan?
Yeah. What and this is interesting because we hear women talk all the time. Women always try to justify their cheating. Oh, Susan, why did you cheat on Michael? Well, he wasn't attentive enough. He wasn't attentive to my needs. Well, here's what probably happened. The reason Michael wasn't attentive because she wasn't worthy of his attention. Right? Women can bitch and moan all they want to. Well, he didn't give me attention. He wasn't attentive to my needs. Well, were you attentive to his needs? Right? And then, of course, women would counter with, well, wait a minute. Why should she be attentive to his needs if he's not attentive to her needs? This is the crux of the situation. It is on women to come correct first. You see, caller, women need men more than men need women. That's how this goes. If you want my time and my attention and my affection, listen, I'm good with or without you, sweetheart, right? Like, I've got all the cerebral brawn I need. I don't need women for anything but something to stick my dick in, which goes back to Steve's very first question. What can you bring to the table besides PTA? And I'm not talking parent-teacher association, right? So as soon as they can prove that, only then will I give you that attention. Too many women out here want men to come, well, men has to show me something, bitch. I don't have to show you shit. I don't need you. You need me. There aren't 38-year-old men out here writing articles wondering why they're still single. You feel me? Only women are doing that. Oh, I'm 38 and I'm still single. The reason why women do this is because women need men more than men need women. So when it comes to coming correct and, given time and attention, it is on the woman to come first. Now, here's another thing. She might have cheated on him because she actually did what was necessary to get that attention, but then the husband, Michael, wasn't giving her that attention. This was that return on investment that we're talking about. It's not just men who need a return on investment. Women need it too. Listen, a woman isn't going to suck your dick and cook your meals and clean and wipe your ass for nothing. She's got to get something out of it too. She also needs your time and attention. She needs your commitment. And if she does what's necessary to earn those things, then you need to give it to her. Otherwise, why uphold her end of the bargain? By the way, shout out to Nova Roma with a couple of $5 super chats. She says, he says, quote, she thinks it's not cheating if it's out of state. Yes, I fucked many women in Vegas from out of town who have said to me, well, it doesn't count because I'm out of the state. Caller, any last thoughts?
Yeah, well, one of my things is, so many men spend so much time chasing women that they forget to actually develop themselves. And I think that's part of the reason why women say, oh, this guy isn't worth it. And what's your thoughts on that?
Wait, say that
Caller,
again?
You're saying the wrong thing. I got it, Donovan.
All right, go ahead.
Caller, you're saying the wrong thing. You're being disrespectful to men because men don't do that. You mean so many males. You got to understand, just because they look like us doesn't mean they are us. So you mean so many males chase after women. A man doesn't do that, sir. So you're kind of lumping us with the other guys, and that's not fair. So
honest mistake.
Your statement means so many males. Yeah, it's an honest mistake. It's all good, but it's not men. It's males, sir.
You know what? It's
Fair
interesting,
point,
and thanks for the call, area code 503. He actually makes a very good point. One of the reasons why women do cheat on men is because of all the attention they get from men. Women, Steve, have the ultimate abundance mentality. As soon as a female walks out the door, she's hit in the face with dicks all over the place. Oh shit! Oh my god! Getting hit in the face with dicks. She gets offers all the time, every time. If men weren't so goddamn thirsty, if men didn't throw cock in her direction, women would probably be less likely to cheat, simply because the abundance mentality is not there anymore. But because we all know that thirsty N-words, I'll use the PG term, right? Because thirsty dudes out here, they fuck the game up for everybody, man. It's a shame. It really is.
Right, because thirsty dudes teach other dudes how not to play the game correctly, number one. And one thing I want to say, Donovan, is that when I was a gigolo and smashing his women, it wasn't even about the sex, dog. It was just about holding them, talking to them, and listening. That's the attention. That's
really what they're paying you for, because they can get dick anywhere, right?
Right, for that attention. Right. Because, see, guys understand women feeling sexy. Y'all don't understand. Y'all think just because y'all put your dick in them, they're going to feel sexy, when y'all don't understand, like Donovan said earlier in the show, women are not logical, guys.
You know they're not.
Not like us. They are emotional. They are driven by their emotions, period. And if you cannot tap into that source by doing things, and again, this is why I was saying, Donovan, slippery slope when it comes to attention. Because just me sitting there talking to her makes her want to suck my dick. Whereas the guy that wants to have sex with her, he doesn't care what she's thinking, and then she's going to turn her off because she just feels he's there for one reason and one reason only, sir.
I got a question here in the chat from John McGill. Says, if you are thirsty, what is your advice to get rid of it? Steve, how do you get rid of thirst?
Your advice to get rid of thirst is this. First thing you got to understand is that as soon as you open your mouth, she's going to realize your story. That means you cannot cover it up. You cannot hide it in your clothes and your jobs and all that. The thing you've got to do is draw a line in the sand and get some help to learn more about you. See, you have your guns faced at the wrong pussy. I keep telling y'all, women have 3, and I'm only going to talk about the 2 of them. You're so busy going between the pussy between her legs that you don't know access is not open sesame, it's MAN. See, what Donovan is trying to show you this whole show and telling you is that you don't need to go after something that they are willing to give you automatically.
That's where the thirst comes in.
When they realize what you are. Once they realize that your behaviors are in line with being a man, okay, I'm sorry to go on my tangent, John.
No, go ahead. You got it.
It's like think about James Bond, gentlemen. Do you ever see James Bond begging for pussy?
No.
Like kissing her ass no. He is cool, calm, and collected. Why? Because when a woman notices a man with options, women don't want guys who don't have anything or not wanted by other women. And when you're thirsty, you're saying to her is, I can't get women. And guys who get pussy are laid back. George Bruno tells you all the time. He turns and listens to the rain. He listens to music. He relaxes with his cigar.
Right.
Women want to fuck him more. Why? Because he's the unattainable man. He's not making it about pussy. He's making it about himself. And if you make it about yourself, she's going to want to fuck you, because when you make it about her, she knows you don't have options. Donovan?
Yo, listen, I could not have said that any better myself. And again, it's very easy to get caught up in chasing women, especially when you first find the red pill, right? Because the reason why most men find the red pill is for one of two reasons. It's either heartbreak, somebody cheated on you, your wife divorce raped you, or sexual frustration. You just can't get laid. So the reason you find the red pill is centered around women. So your whole existence becomes, okay, if I want to be happy in my life, I need to get women. And I'm telling you right now, man, women are not essential to your happiness. Listen, do they elevate your life as a man? Absolutely. Listen, I lived a great life in Vegas. I really did. I had a lot of fun in Vegas. Was it necessary to have a bunch of women in Vegas? No, I probably would have had a good time anyway, but it made a little bit of a difference, right? So acknowledging the fact that women do elevate our lives, that's part of the gig. To say, well, I don't need women. No, we don't need women, but let's not pretend that they don't elevate our life. Steve, you've been married for 23 years. You don't need your wife, but she elevates your life. I don't need Devin. She elevates my life. Yeah. But a funny thing happens on the way to the fabled status, the fabled play status, is that on the way up the ladder, on the way up the road, you begin to realize it just hits you all at once. Wait a minute. All I have to do to be more attractive to women is to stop chasing women, right? Like all you have to do is build yourself into a high value guy, and women are going to be naturally attracted to you as a natural byproduct of your very lifestyle and aura. This is just how it is, right? Yeah. You don't have to. Now, this isn't to say that if you see a pretty girl out and about to just kind of sit there and play it cool, trying to be like Steve McQueen. No. Listen, if you want to fuck her, if you're trying, listen, there's nothing wrong with approaching women. If women happen to cross your path in your daily life, by all means, chat her up and say what's up. Give her your phone number, or you can take her phone number, whichever strategy you want to use, and keep it moving. But when you get up every day and you live your life for the sole purpose of only chasing women, a lot gets lost. Guys, I did that for nearly 4 years. And while I had a lot of fun, I would be so much further now had I not spent 3.5 years of my life strictly just chasing women, right? It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I made a lot of mistakes, and I don't regret it. But if I knew then what I knew now, I would not have spent nearly as much time chasing women as I would have if I were doing like what Rich Cooper says, chasing excellence. What say you, Steve?
You know what, Don? And I'm picking back off what you're saying. See, it's not about chasing women. It's y'all are worshiping women. That's the problem. I don't go. See, y'all. I know y'all got to hear my pity pat. I know you're gonna be like, "Oh, poor you," right? But y'all, after a while, you're gonna get tired of women. You're gonna get tired of the women. Can I come see you? And when are you gonna spend time with me? And why don't you care about me? And why are you fucking her instead of let me suck your dick and all that other stuff? You're gonna want time to yourself. And when you meet other women, it's not the fact that you're coming off thirsty. It's the fact that you're just putting your bit. If you like something, go after it. But the problem is, Donovan, when you worship women or put them above your own needs, that's the problem. Because that's where the thirst comes from. It comes from the worshiping part. I worship me too much. I ain't got enough worship to give, Donovan. I worship me too much. So when I meet a woman, why do you think I'd come off? She's like, you're an asshole.
Right.
You're a jerk. Or, you're so selfish and you're so conceited. Okay, but yeah, sure, I'll take your number. But see, what these guys do is because they worship women. They're under this impression they got to walk on eggshells, Donovan. They got to make sure they say the right thing. And hey, Donovan, the worst thing that they do, get your crayons out and stop this shit. Stop trying to get women to like you.
Yes.
Stop trying to be the nice guy, the good guy, the guy that's always there. The guy. I don't want a woman to like me, goddammit. I want her to be attracted to me. I don't want her likes. Because when she likes you, Donovan, that's when you're sweet, you're kind, you're understanding,
yes.
You're thoughtful, you're a great guy, you're a gentleman. And you know what? Any woman would be good, happy to be with one guy like you, except me. I don't want you to like me. I want you attracted to me. Either you're going to ride with me or you're not, Donovan.
No, I'm with you 100%. Actually got a pretty good comment here in the chat. Raziel Schnitzel says, I suppose what Donovan is saying is that a red-pilled life is one lived for the man's benefit and women come as a side effect. That's it. That is exactly what it is. And it's interesting. It takes a long time to figure that out. Shout out to Mr. E1976 with the $5 super chat, so showing some gratitude and support. Thank you guys for what you do. Appreciate that. But that's exactly what it is. And it takes a while to figure that out, right? Because don't get me wrong, man. I was in that stage myself. It was women. But then I started accumulating a little bit more status. I drove a nicer car. I knew higher status people. I'd go to parties. People knew who I was in Vegas. And all of a sudden, I found that I didn't have to hit the street for 3, 4, 5 hours a day in 127-degree Vegas heat to add new girls to my roster. All I had to do was live life. Hey, Donovan, we got this house party going on over in Falcon Crest. Hey, Donovan, we got a party out there in North Vegas. Hey, Donovan, there's a pool party up there at Dre's Beach Club. Why don't you come along and do that? Just by living my life and being who I was, that led to more women. Really, it actually led to more opportunities than the opportunities that I was chasing.
Dude, Donovan, I tell you, man, I love my peace and quiet. And when you meet a woman, they know when you have other women. It's like I don't know. It's like you say, when you're not making it about women,
yes,
and you make it about yourself, your language changes, your behaviors change, and they begin to notice things about you. Because Donovan, what a lot of guys don't understand is, when a woman meets you guys, she goes into the future, she goes into the past, and she stays in the present like a snap of your finger, meaning that she has met you before, guys.
That's right.
There is nobody out there that is original. She has met you before. So based on your behavior, she is going to go into the future and see what it was like to be with a guy like you.
Wow.
Then she's going to go into the past to see what it was like to be with a guy like you. And just like that, that's when she says, you know what, take my number. Let's hang out. Let's be friends. Let's take this slow. I'm not sure about things. Maybe later on and all that other stuff, or not do anything with you at all. When she meets Donovan, she goes into the future like, damn, I remember the last guy whose dick I sucked, whose pussy made me wet, was a guy that talked to me like this. And what was I like? Running behind him, kissing his ass,
right,
being on his time. Because Donovan always told me that, you know what? I meet a million bitches like you, and you'll never meet a motherfucker like me. So if you got a problem with that, take your ass on.
Amen.
And that's when she's like, oh, hey.
Hey, oh, hey, I was just
Donovan.
kidding. Right, I was just joking. I didn't mean to talk to you like that. All right, so the last and final reason that I'm going to point out as to why women are cheating on men who are even red pill aware is you're still blue pill at heart. Even though you watch TSR Live with Donovan Sharp every weekday at noon Eastern, even though you watch the Red Man Group, you watch the Redline, you watch the Red Man Mindset, right? You frequent websites like the Rational Mail, Return of Kings, IllimitableMen.com. Even though you're starting to understand the true nature of women, you are still secretly holding on to concepts like not all women are like that. You're still secretly holding out hope that a woman will come along who's going to love me for me, right? You're still looking for your romantic comedy or rom-com or Disney fantasy. I'm here to tell you guys, and Steve can co-sign on this, no matter how well you think you hide it, guys, women will eventually sniff it out. And when that happens, guys, dude, she'll be gone before you even get a chance to kiss her. Women have positively zero respect for men who don't know or understand how to handle them. This is why that caller who said, well, I sent my girlfriend a link to this dude, he's out. That's out, man. They have no respect for men who worship them or show an ineptitude in dealing with their emotional shenanigans. They do not respect men who give them the world just because they fuck up a few times. Renouncing your blue pill ways verbally, gentlemen, that's one thing. It is quite another to actually do it in real life. And make no mistake, women have a supernatural ability to detect even trace amounts of incongruity. If you are a closet blue pill simp masquerading as a red pill aware male, guys, I'm here to tell you, she's going to run circles around you, and she's going to drain you of your time. She's going to drain you of your finances. She's going to drain you of your sanity, right? And never have to get naked for you even one time. She can't cheat on you if you've never had sex with her. What say you? And shout out to Patrick J. Lewis with the $2 super chat, says great content. Appreciate that, Patrick. Go ahead.
You know, the sad thing is with a lot of these guys is that y'all lie to yourselves so much that you believe the lies that you tell yourselves. The thing with you guys is this simple, is that you can say you're red pill all day, but if your behaviors do not coincide and line up with the things that you say, think, and behave, you are not red pill. You're lying to yourself. That's like me telling you guys, my name is Kal-El, and I come from a place called Krypton, and man, I can fly, and I can run faster than the train. You're going to look at me crazy until you see it actually happening.
Right.
And what you guys do, just because you have red pill in your name, just because you say I'm a red pill guy,
right,
let me tell you something. Donovan can spot it. I can spot it. You don't think she can't spot it? Y'all guys need to stop throwing that name around as if it's something that is really what you are. The truth of the matter is, no, you're still learning how to be a man. And no, you're not red pill. Yes, you're getting information. But if you're still scared, let me tell you something. This is just simple, Donovan. This, guys, we don't know you who are listening at all. Let me just simplify this to you. If you wake up every morning afraid to talk to women, scared to approach, don't know what to say, have confidence issues, have anxiety, you shake and shiver and you're problematic, you point the finger at women and you act emotional, you're not. Because guess what? A red pill man doesn't even think about that stuff when he wakes up in the morning. So that's all I'm just trying to say. The last thing is that before you use that term, be honest with yourself and see where you're really at, and then start to get the help that you need to fix those problems, Donovan.
At the end of the day, guys, you can talk all you want about what women are and what women aren't, right? You can talk about how slutty they are. You can talk about how terrible they are. You can talk about everything in between. You can list all the things you require in a woman before you commit and know that very few women will measure up, and that's perfectly okay, right? Because as men, we have to have standards. But if you are a non-confrontational coward who also puts too much responsibility on your woman, who has no idea nor the balls to protect her from destroying herself with drugs and cock, right? If you commit to her too soon and you're a closet blue pill simp, guys, you're going to continue to get cheated on by every woman you commit to. Those are my final words, Steve. What say you? What are you going to do? What are you going to say to sort of wrap a bow on this? We'll go into the comments one last time to pick out the best ones here.
Okay, I just want to say this real quick to those guys out there. I'm going to tell y'all something that is going to blow y'all's fucking mind.
Uh-oh, gets crazy.
A lot of you guys, this is going to hurt them. Let me tell you, how many times have y'all guys walked down the street, you saw a woman, and you said to yourself, man, I fuck this shit out that woman. Man, I can see her sucking my dick and all that. Well, let me give y'all a shocker, guys. Women do the same thing with you guys. When they see you, you don't think women don't like sex? They love sex. They think about your dick. They think about fucking you, sucking you off, and you smashing it from the back. But, hold on, don't get excited because there's always a but in this. The problem why they don't fuck you guys right off the bat or have that one night stand and do all that nasty stuff that you see in porn is because the majority of you guys are judgmental. Number one, you're very judgmental. And you are, well, I'll just go with the judgmental part. See, Donovan, a lot of these guys say, you know what? I want to fuck a woman. I want that one night stand, right? They get that one night stand, and what's the first thing they do? They put her business out on the street.
That's right. Every time.
Slut. You ain't gonna believe this. Sally sucked a bunch of dicks, and she sucked my dick the first night. So what you do is you put the business on the street, then you judge her for fucking you when you wanted pussy right off the bat. What y'all guys got to understand, the thing about a man like the Donovan Sharps of the world, George Brunos of the world, the thing is the reason why they fuck us right off the bat is because, number one, we don't judge them for being sluts and whores. And we don't put their business out on the street.
Right.
That's y'all's problem. Y'all want all the benefits of having the one night stand on one hand, Donovan. But then on the other hand, when she gives you what you want, you're already showing your friends the nude photos.
There you
you're
go.
Passing the photos to your guys, the videos, the titty pictures she's sending. And she might be at your job. You might have her branded for her doing the thing you wanted to do. So that's what we're saying, guys. There's a lot of layers to this. I just want to end this. But what I'm saying to you guys is this. Don't ever think that women don't like dick. Matter of fact, they like sex more than we do.
Shit, you kidding me?
100, as much as they masturbate every day. But they're not going to fuck a guy who is very insecure. Insecure equals judgment. Insecure equals putting her business on the street. And they got to make sure if they invest that pussy, they don't want to have the stock fall on them, Donovan.
Very well said, man. Very, very well said. I think at the end of the day, I think, and men always, and I think you point this out a lot too, right? Men say, well, the reason why women cheat on men is because of hypergamy. Okay, yeah, that's one of the reasons, right? Well, the reason why women cheat on men is because they're sluts. Yeah, that's another reason too. But what it comes down to is you have to pay attention. If you are focusing on what you're doing, if you're focusing on your purpose, your mission in life, living your life, your woman will have no choice but to follow you, right? And if your woman knows that you're worthy of being followed, she's going to be worried about other women following you. Guess what? That's called indirect. That's called passive dread. And if your woman knows that you have opportunities to step out on her, whether you're taking those things or not, she's not going to worry about stepping on you with another man. She's too worried about keeping these bitches off of your dick. That's how that goes. So at the end of the day, guys, stop thinking about what the woman is doing and worry about yourself. Yes, you got to keep her in line. That's all standard operating procedure. But at the end of the day, you have to keep yourself in line, because if you don't have your shit together, guess what? If you don't have your shit together, then you don't really have a reason to bitch and moan in the first place. That's all there is to it.
Donovan, one thing I like to say, the most dangerous man out there, guys, is the man who has options.
That's it. That's it. And oh, by the way, women love dangerous men.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and guys with options. Because they want to be number one.
Right, of course. Oh, we've got a meathead red pill guy in the house. Says, can't get cheated on if you don't commit. Says, don't commit. I don't care how great she is. So he is, I don't give a fuck how hot she is. If she fucks up one time, she's fucking gone. I don't give a fuck.
Says the guy who has never had a piece of pussy in his life.
Of course.
And that's why and that's the problem. Then see, hey guys, what y'all will learn while y'all listen to this great show is that all you got to do is read what they say and look at the feminine energy coming off of the words.
Yeah.
By certain guys.
And
you will learn.
Listen, this guy wants us to think that he's up to his eyeballs in pussy. Bruh, it's Friday night, 9:30 Eastern, right? But you want us to think that you're not committing to hot bit. I don't care how great she is. Don't commit. Dude, if you had all these options, you wouldn't be watching the Redline talking about how great you are and about how you don't commit to great women on Friday night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm just saying.
Donovan, what man have you ever heard Donovan, have you ever heard me say anything like that ever in life?
Negative.
Ever?
Negative.
Because guys that get pussy don't talk that way, man. That's the thing you understand. Guys who don't get pussy don't talk. Well, I'm not gonna. What the fuck did he say anyway? What did he say?
He said you can't get cheated on if you don't commit. Listen. He's right, but that's the thing. And again, I think guys have to understand is you don't angle for commitment first. You make her angle for commitment first. And I've said this a lot.
Yeah.
Right. I've said this a lot. If you, and the chat just went completely dark on me. All right. I can't see the chat anymore, guys. I appreciate the super chat. If you guys are super chatting, I appreciate it. We're going to end it here with this. If you angle for commitment first, you are giving up any and all leverage. When you ask a girl to be your girlfriend first, what you are telling her directly and indirectly that she has done everything that you require for your commitment. What that means is that you can't add anything else. You can't tell her what your requirements are because you've already committed to her, right? So we got a lot. We got a lot of guys. Oh, I've been married and I got cheated on. Okay, that's all well and good, but next time, don't commit first. Don't angle for commitment first.
No. Yeah,
that's how that is. All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks for tuning into the Red Line. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 11 Eastern for the Redman group. Tomorrow, we are going to... all right, so we've got... Okay, so tomorrow, we're going to be talking about... We're going to answer the question, do we chase girls forever? Right? We talk a lot about how, girls, game, finance, fitness, but what happens when men, quote unquote, hit the wall? When is the party over? When do we decide to stop pursuing women? And I've got tomorrow, I've got myself is confirmed. Steve the Dean is confirmed. DDJ is confirmed. Goldman says that he might be in, Goldman Unleashed, and we're still waiting to hear back from AJ Alexander Cortez. So we're good to. So we're certainly good to go. We're certainly good to go on tomorrow's Redman group. Again, that's tomorrow's Redman group on this channel at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning Eastern Standard Time. That is 8 a.m. Pacific. Steve, once again, listen. Good luck down there with the rolling blackouts. Hopefully, you'll have power tomorrow when we go on to the Redman group, and we'll have a good time, man.
No, you'll be good. It'll be good, man. Thank you, man. And guys, don't forget Monday.
Yes.
The red pill mindset at 8 East on Mondays.
Absolutely. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here on this channel, the Red Man Mindset, also a call-in show. All right, guys, I appreciate you stopping in. We will talk to you tomorrow at 11.